We've got the 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonale.
And this video is brought to you by Toyo Tires. We're giving away 2 sets of Toyo Celsius 2 all-weather tires. About halfway through the video, we'll tell you all about it.
Smooth, quiet, powerful.
This thing has got a lot of torque.
Woo.
Man, it's like when you get the electric and the gas all working together. It's potent and different in Canada. We're going to get into it now. What's under the hood of this thing?
A 1.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder plug-in hybrid powertrain with a 6-speed automatic transmission, 285 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. It has a 15.5 kilowatt-hour battery with 50 kilometers, 32 miles of EV range, standard all-wheel drive. With a full tank of gas and charge, the Tonale gets 520 kilometers, 360 miles of range.
Now, a Canada exclusive not available in the United States is a base gas model only, with a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder and a 9-speed automatic transmission, 256 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. But don't worry, there is a cousin vehicle to this, which is called the Dodge Hornet, and that is available with a gas engine in the United States. Right now, what do you get with this Alfa Romeo? The key standard features.
The base trim comes with a 12.3-inch digital driver display, a 10.25-inch touchscreen with Uconnect 5, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a wireless charger, 6-speaker audio system, interior LED lights, 8-way power driver and passenger seat, heated front seats, and a heated steering wheel.
So this particular trim has the adaptive suspension. We get DNA and, well, there's one more. What else can we put it in?
Got to put it in S for subscribing. If you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure you like and subscribe, but also follow along on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrew to see what's going on behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button. So when I say Alfa Romeo, how would you describe the way they drive?
Oh man, spirited, engaging, dynamic, super fun.
Does this Alfa Romeo live up to that benchmark?
You know what, it's just missing something, but I have to say it's a plug-in hybrid. So it's a little bit different than what I'm used to driving with the Stelvio and the Giulia. I think Alfa Romeo has done a good job, and it's probably the most engaging plug-in hybrid that I've driven.
So this is the Veloce model, and that's where you get the adjustable suspension, the DNA switch there. You can see the shock absorber in the middle. And I've noticed these settings, on some brands it's not the case. It's kind of like, did it change anything? With this one, it's marked. The difference between right now we're driving in EV mode, and then the most dynamic one is very dynamic.
It really is, and the suspension is firm in that mode. What I have found about this is the steering is not typical of Alfa Romeo. It's a lot lighter than I expected, so I think that will probably appeal to more people. I also found the turning radius on this just to be okay. For a small vehicle, I thought I would be able to do a quick U-turn and just zip around that corner. That just isn't the case.
So because there is the Dodge cousin, the Hornet, made in Italy alongside this one, this is an Alfa Romeo. We're getting into the price a little bit later. Does the brand have enough pull to justify the price? And they're competing in the luxury or premium space. I'm just wondering if you're getting a luxury or premium vibe when driving it.
I suppose I am. I feel like I'm driving a more premium vehicle, but they're also different because when you drive plug-in hybrids, they're usually quite refined and smooth, and you want to have a quieter cabin. That's not really the case with the Tonale. You're not getting that vibe from this plug-in hybrid, and I think that some may like it, but
well, that's what they're trying to go for, that Alfa Romeo thing.
I get it.
And we're waiting for the Hornet to arrive. It's going to be arriving hopefully in the next 2 weeks. So it's going to be interesting to drive that after driving this one to see if this is premium versus that.
Yes, and would I want this as my daily driver? Sure, I would be happy with it, but I'm finding that the seats, which we'll get into that when we get into the interior, are just not that comfortable.
So I think the styling cues on this are definitely Alfa inspired, especially the headlamps. I think it's nice looking.
Yeah, the V Scudetto grille that we see on all Alfa Romeo models is a real standout. And of course, you've got all the Alfa badging and the Tonale badging on this vehicle. I like the styling. I think it's sporty, it's modern, it's sleek. It lives up to the Alfa Romeo design elements.
And I love the design of their wheels. It's really simple, but boy, when you see them, you're like, that's an Alfa. And it's nice to have a vehicle that actually has some signature styling cues.
Yes. This comes standard with LED headlights, LED taillights, LED fog lights, standard 19-inch wheels, available 20-inch. In the US, 18-inch wheels are standard. The model that we're driving, the Veloce, has red brake calipers, and it comes with 19-inch wheels.
So, sitting here looking towards you, Andrea, it's hard to pull my eyes away from you and look at the dash, but you know what? I think this is a very pleasant, well-designed, well-thought-out, logical interior, and there's not a lot of shiny hard plastic. So, is it luxury? I'm not sure it's luxury, but it's very nice.
Yeah, it's a real modern and clean interior. It's driver focused for sure. Everything is at the driver's fingertips. I like that the 10.25-inch touchscreen is standard. And you also get a standard 12.3-inch digital driver display. This comes with Uconnect 5 with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And I have to say, it doesn't matter if you leave the vehicle overnight or you leave it for 5 minutes. If you are paired to this vehicle, wireless, for me, Android Auto came on right away. I didn't have to pair it again or connect it. It's great.
Okay, I just want to say, if you get the Giulia or the Stelvio, they have their own proprietary head unit with different software. This is the same Uconnect 5 you get another Stellantis products, and this is better than what you get on those two cars.
I did find it to be a little bit laggy on our model. I didn't mind it, but I still think it's worth mentioning.
All right, I have a question for you, Andrea. Do you think the paddle shifters are big enough for you?
I can't stand these paddle shifters. They are way too large. I like to use one hand to turn on my wipers or my turn signals, and they're always in the way. Are they just supposed to be sportier?
Yeah.
Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, they're supposed to be sportier. That's why they do it.
In Canada and the US, available features include ventilated front seats, driver's seat memory, perforated leather seats, a surround view monitor, park sense, the Harman Kardon sound system, a panoramic sunroof, and a power liftgate. The Tonale does not come with heated rear seats.
So these seats I find are kind of firm. I don't mind that. How do you like them, Andrea?
Yeah, I find them kind of uncomfortable, and they don't offer enough thigh support. I find it even more uncomfortable in the passenger side. I wouldn't want to be in this vehicle on a long trip.
So here's me getting in the back seat. This is actually surprising. The Tonale actually has quite a bit of legroom. Headroom's pretty good. How does it stack up?
Comparing the Tonale to another plug-in hybrid like the Lexus NX, the Alfa Romeo has 41.7 inches of front row legroom, which is over half an inch more than the Lexus. And second row legroom at 38 inches is almost 2 inches more than the NX.
When you open the liftgate, this doesn't have a big cargo area. It's not very wide. How does it stack up?
Space behind the second row at 22.9 cubic feet, and overall cargo space at 50.5 cubic feet is also larger than the NX.
All right, let's get into your questions and how you can win.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Stick around for more info on the tire giveaway. Right now, your questions from Instagram.
I've been waiting so long for this review. I love the styling. How does space compare to the Stelvio, cargo, and interior? Any chance we'll see a manual transmission?
Well, the Stelvio is one class bigger and it's wider. You definitely notice that. But this has surprisingly good legroom.
Yeah, it is surprising. The Stelvio offers more cargo space, but this Tonale has more front and rear legroom, but less headroom than the Stelvio.
And not as wide.
Yeah, and as for a manual transmission, no.
Hey, have you heard? We're giving away 2 sets of Toyo Celsius 2 all-weather tires. One set for Canadian viewers and a second set for US viewers. And you leave these tires on your car all year round.
How easy is that? The new Toyo Celsius 2 all-weather tires has the mountain snowflake symbol for traction in all conditions, including snow, slush, and ice for dependable all-weather performance. Thanks to wide circumference grooves to help evacuate slush and water for better grip to the road surface.
Plus, you get snow claws located on both the inside and outside of the tire. These grooves are designed to help improve deep snow traction and increase block rigidity for better handling.
So, how do you win? Well, click on the link in the description below, fill out the form, and this is open to US and Canadian viewers.
And as an added bonus for Canadians until December 16th, you can get up to $80 back when you purchase a set of qualifying tires.
How does this compare to the Lexus NX plug-in hybrid? And how long is the wait time in Canada?
Well, just before Questions, Coffee and Cars, we went through the back seat, the cargo area, and the front row leg room and compared it to the NX. And this is bigger in every dimension.
It is. So the thing about the NX is it has an eCVT, that plug-in hybrid. So it gets better fuel economy than this. And even when the battery is depleted, the fuel economy is also better than this Tonale. It is a little more money, starting price, but it comes with more standard features. Also, Lexus, reliability. I mean, there is something about that.
Big question mark around Alfa.
This is their first plug-in hybrid.
Yeah, back to my point I was making earlier when we were driving. I mean, does this brand have the kind of pull to charge? And we're going to get into the price a little bit later. Like they're marketing it as a premium or luxury brand. Is it?
Well, I think the thing is, for a plug-in hybrid in the subcompact class, there isn't one.
No.
So
good for them.
They're a standalone. They're unique. But then you think to yourself, okay, once I get all the extras, would I be better off just to get an NX plug-in hybrid or an X3 plug-in hybrid, which is only available in Canada, or the Q5 plug-in hybrid? That thing is expensive.
Yeah, but it's
80,000 Canadian.
a lot bigger.
Woo! Alfa, beautiful as always. If your closest Alfa dealer was 5 hours away, would you buy one or pass for something German?
I
5
would not.
hours is too far.
If I had any brand that was 5 hours away, I wouldn't buy it.
No.
So
same. It doesn't matter what it is. If you have a problem with the vehicle, you do not want to drive 5 hours to the dealership. Say you have to leave it there and come back at another time.
Forget
no, thank
about
you.
And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
Love the looks and the specs, but how expensive is the maintenance? Will it break the bank?
Well, I think there's a little confusion here, Andrea, between maintenance and reliability. I think the question really is about reliability.
Yeah.
Maintenance is what you pay annually to keep your car serviced, and you've done the digging on that.
Yeah, well, there's standard intervals with Alfa Romeo, just like other brands. And at 10,000 miles, this is actually off of a US dealership website. It'll cost you $80 US. Of course, it gets higher as you put more miles on it. At 60,000 miles, it's more like $700 US, but not horrible.
Well, here's the thing is, I think really the digging is about, is this reliable? And if you look at Alfa Romeo's quality, it isn't above the industry average for dependability.
Yeah.
And this is a brand new product with a brand new drivetrain. Are you going to take a chance on it? That's why I wonder if this brand has the pull to justify the price. Okay, let's get into the fuel economy and more, and the charging, all of that, and our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. We'll do Canada first and then the US. The base trim starts at just over $58,000 and the top Veloce starts at just over $62,000. The gas model in Canada starts at just over $47,000. In the US, the plug-in hybrid starts at just under $43,000 and the top trim is just over $50,000.
This PHEV earns a combined city and highway rating of 3.1 liters equivalent per 100 kilometers. That's 77 miles per gallon equivalent. With the battery depleted, it gets a combined 8.1 liters per 100 kilometers or 29 miles per gallon. The gas model is rated at 11.2 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 8.2 on the highway. And with a level 1 charger, you can charge this Alfa Romeo in 8 hours. With a level 2 charger, under 3 hours. This Tonale is not compatible with a DC fast charger.
The Tonale plug-in hybrid qualifies for the federal EV rebate in Canada of $5,000 and any rebates in participating provinces. In the US, a tax credit is available through a lease. Alfa Romeo offers a warranty of 4 years or 80,000 kilometers, 50,000 miles. In the U.S., complimentary maintenance is covered for 1 year or 10,000 miles.
So they're not all in the same class because there's not that many plug-in hybrids that are smaller SUVs. Here's a list of 4.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Volvo XC60 with a T8 plug-in hybrid powertrain. It has a combined 455 horsepower and 58 kilometers, 36 miles of range. It has a starting price just over $65,500.
The BMW X330e with 288 horsepower. This is only sold in Canada, not the US. It gets 29 kilometers of range and has a starting price of $65,000.
The Audi Q5e with 37 kilometers, 23 miles of EV range. It gets a combined 362 horsepower and is priced at over $80,000.
The Lexus NX 450h Plus with a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, 304 horsepower, but the leader in range at 61 kilometers, 37 miles, and a starting price of $63,000.
So there are 4 luxury plug-in hybrid SUVs for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like, 2 things we like to see improved.
Well, I like the sporty handling of a plug-in hybrid.
This thing's got a lot of torque.
I think that Alfa Romeo needed to differentiate itself more from the Dodge Hornet.
And if you package this thing up, man, it's expensive.
This is a good kick at the can for Alfa Romeo with their first plug-in hybrid, but I still like the Stelvio better.
You know what? Does Alfa Romeo have the pull to demand these prices? I'm not sure.